Hello all. Problem number 1. A catering company prepared and served 350 meals at an anniversary celebration last week using 8 workers. The week before, 2 workers prepared and served 230 meals at a wedding reception. So the questions that are asked are: first one, calculate the labor productivity for each event. Second, for which event was the labor productivity higher, either anniversary and or wedding? So looks like in this given information, there are two different events that happened. First one is the anniversary celebration. Second one was the wedding reception. And looks like the output we are talking is with respect to the meals. So number of meals served was the output that we are measuring. So first was 350, and as per the given information, second was 230 meals. And the input that goes in here is the number of workers, which is first one is 8 and 2. So this is given here. So in quickly refreshing the formulas of productivity measures. So the very first, productivity equals to output upon input. And as a operation manager or operational management professionals, the first key information you are supposed to know is, yeah, these basic input output information, and based on that, oftentimes there will be department 1, department 2, or event 1, event 2, or yeah, there could be several project 1, project 2, and so on. So you are on a high level, you are supposed to keep a very close eye on this. So that's the reason we are solving this high level problem just on a simple basis. And like I said in my first lecture, also in this class, we'll be so this is an introductory class where I'm supposed to introduce you all the concept of operation management. So due to that reason, we won't be going into too much detailed information or detailed problem solving, but this is a very good starting point. And on purpose, I want you all to have a hands-on for these kind of problems, and especially Excel. So that's why we are going to use Excel to solve this problem. But for you, yeah, you can use a calculator as well. But I highly recommend getting used to Excel, because not only like reading the problem, sometimes the problem won't even be given. You might know the situation, you have to formulate it. So it's a good idea to open an Excel file, start creating a tabular format, and then yeah, start solving the problem. Yeah, so with that said, let's go ahead, and yeah, very first thing is here is a formula. Yeah, so the mean productivity equals to output upon input. If you have a lot of inputs or a lot of outputs, or you want to go with partial measures, and many times that's the case as we go when we learn about different inventory or forecasting or even lean systems, I will try my best to get as many examples of the single input or partial measures as possible. But for now, let's use this. A few other formulas for productivity are these. So partial measures of productivity equals to output as a whole divided by one single input, or output upon labor. Yeah, in this case, labor is the input that is going in. Sometimes it could be the capital money spent. So in that case, it's output upon capital. So in the problem we are solving, it's the labor that is the input that is going in. So yeah, indirectly it's a partial measure. Some more yeah, formulas for productivity are using multi-factor measures is output upon multiple input. And towards the end, yeah, the third and fourth problem we'll be solving will be using this. So yeah, we'll go get to that point shortly. So with that said, yeah, let's open a new Excel sheet. I have already created one. So here is an Excel sheet I'm creating, and maybe I will do half and half. And just for visual calibration, this is my practice. And again, we also learned in lecture number 2, the visual management. So yeah, maybe this is something similar to that. So just keeping a close tab. So I copy and paste over here so that whenever I want, I can always refer this formula. So I'm taking a snipping and keeping it in front of me. So yeah, this is done. Going back, let's go to the problem. So problem number 1. So let's start formulating it. So I'll just make this a little bit bigger so that you can see it properly. So yeah, the first category I'm starting is say catering event. So that was the first, and here they say anniversary celebration and wedding reception here. So anniversary celebration, second one was wedding reception. And let's make this bigger. And second one information is there are 2 separate weeks, right? So I'll just say week. And here the current, which is anniversary celebration, is the current. So I'll say it's week uh, 2 and previous week, right? It says the week before it was reading. So this was my week 1. So I should have reshuffled it. Yeah, let me make that correction. So Control X, Control V. I'll delete this up so that this is the right sequence. The previous week, this event wedding reception happened, and the immediately next week, anniversary celebration happened. Now the output we are looking for here, which is the meals, I guess. So MEALS is the output, and the input we are looking is the number of workers. Yeah, so I'll see number of workers. And it's just my practice. For me, any output, I always denote it using a Y. So for the same reason, I'll just say this is a Y. And inputs, I usually denote as using X. So I'll say X is my input over here. So yeah, here is my output, here is my input. So let's fill in this information from whatever it is given over here. So for the wedding reception, 230 meals was the output. And for anniversary celebration, 350 meals. And the number of workers used are 2 in this case. And for the 350 meals is 8. Awesome. So looks like we have created, formulated this table. A very good habit, very good practice. And in future, I will highly recommend each one of you to use Excel and start formulating these, because this is just a starting point. As you start working on more difficult problems, complicated issues on your within your operations, you will realize tabulating this for table like this is very beneficial. And you can and again, once you start this, you can add lots of complex inputs, lots of complex outputs, lots of complex formulas within it. So it's very handy, it's very useful. And again, here using this problem, we have only shown 2 different weeks. You can have it for the entire year, the number of weeks per year. So it can be 48 or 52. And yeah, you can keep a close track. Yeah, so that's the benefit. So again, the key point here is using Excel. So now let's read the problem. Calculate the labor productivity for each event. So as we know, labor productivity is equals to output upon input. So I'll just say productivity, and I will just say it's Y, which is output, divided by X, that is input. So yeah, let's do it. So equals to Y divided by input X. So in this case, the productivity here is 115. I'll just drag the formula down. And for the anniversary event, the labor productivity was 43.75. Yeah. So just looking at these two numbers, it's clear, right? The productivity for wedding reception was the highest. So that's the answer. And again, this is a calculated variable. And since this is our answer, I'll just highlight it with a different color, say yellow. And I'll just make this table much more presentable. Font, format cells. And I'll just make this bolder. So yeah, this is how we solved our first problem.